Welcome back, everyone. After our few-hour break, the Lancaster Barnstormers seeking a doubleheader sweep of the Somerset Patriots. Tonight we have the 9-inning second game of that twin bill, along with Eric May, Dave Collins with you here. The Barnstormers earlier today picked up the 5-2 victory in Game 1. It didn't start off terribly promising for the Lancaster Barnstormers. Garrett Granitz giving up this triple to Dario Pisano, who then scored on the ensuing base hit by Michael Ullman. However, Joe Turdoslavich tied the game with a 2-run home run to left, and Casey Hobson on the very next pitch destroyed a Logan Darnell offering to right field. The Barnstormers would go on to win by the final score of 5-2 in Game 1 of our doubleheader. Darian Sanford and a sacrifice fly by Michael Martinez, a ground single by Caleb Gendel, all mounting the Barnstormers' attack. Lancaster going on to win 5-2. Now, Game 2 is underway, and Buddy Bauman's first pitch is delivered for a strike to Justin Pacioli. It is 0-1. Buddy could use a win. He has lost 6 decisions in a row without pitching terribly. A second strike on Pacioli. It's 0-2. Well, the home runs have started to stack up against Bauman lately. 5'10" left-hander out of Springfield, Missouri. Swing and a foul tip that is held by Parker Morin. Pacioli has gone on 3 pitches. Bauman starts off his evening with a strikeout. That's his 59th of the season. And here it's the rest of the starting lineup for the Somerset Patriots. Jimmy Paredes, a huge return last night, but his position has been moved from third base to right field. Lancaster defensively with an alignment we're fairly used to. First pitch swinging is Ray Navarro. He fouls that back. It's 0-1. Bauman lost to Somerset 3-1, our very first telecast on Blue Ridge 11 this year. He pitched well, a 3-hitter, went the distance, but it wasn't enough that particular afternoon.
Yeah, unfortunately, Lancaster's only averaging about 3 runs a game when he's pitching. And yeah, this is an offense that we have seen put up a lot of runs, but it's just one of those situations that when he pitches, the offense just isn't there.
Bauman working ahead of Navarro. And Buddy comes back. There's a swing and a foul tip again. First 2 batters have fanned tonight. 60 strikeouts on the season for the left-hander, and I have described him as sneaky fast. The radar gun does not tell the story of Bauman. When he releases it, he hides the ball well. The pitch is on you before you realize it. 2 outs. Here's Jimmy Paredes. Last night in his return, 3 for 5 with a home run, 5 runs batted in. Swings and misses here. It's just like riding a bicycle for this guy. 362 last year while playing for the Lancaster Barnstormers. I know fans have expressed concern why Paredes is not back in Lancaster here in 2019. Why was he allowed to go to Somerset? Why did he have that night against the Barnstormers last night? It's actually fairly complicated, but involves the fact that Lancaster owed Somerset a player for Trayvon Robinson. That's part of it. The second part of it is that Paredes' family is in New York City, or a fair amount of it, and he wanted to be close to them. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bauman to the plate, busted bat, out to Bell, 2 short hops, and the throw across ends the inning. A clean start to the night for Bauman. Nothing across for Somerset in the top of the first. Lancaster gets its turn against Thomas Dormany when we come back. Lancaster Barnstormers batting order, one of the strongest 1 through 5 that we have seen in the Atlantic League this season. Casey Hobson, a tie-breaking home run earlier today. The Barnstormers are getting productivity out of both catchers, both Anderson De La Rosa and Parker Morin hitting in the 290 neighborhood with some home runs. Lancaster is set there as well. Get a look at the defense for the Somerset Patriots. Pacioli is a marvel in left. Michael Krause, so good in center field. They're strong up the middle with Alfredo Rodriguez at short. Scott Kelly, he won't hurt you no matter where you put him. And you get a look at Thomas Dormany, and it's actually the first time that the Barnstormers have seen this left-hander. The record doesn't tell a story. Dormany has been pitching very well, and in typical John Hutton fashion, a guy that he was able to procure out of the Frontier League. After 4 years of affiliated ball, Dormany went to the Washington Wild Things last year, and he was 9-5 with an earned run average in the 2.4s. It's the kind of player that Somerset loves to have, and Dormany has not let them down.
Yeah, he's just a shade under 3 this year, and you're right. The record at 2-4, but you get a sub-3 ERA. You're doing things right. And he's only given up 4 earned runs in his last 22 and 2/3 innings. So the guy has really been in a groove right now, and he doesn't yield the long ball either. So he keeps the ball in the yard.
Darian Sanford will get things going against him. Dormany is the third of the 4 left-handed starting pitchers that Brett Jody and the Patriots threw against the Barnstormers in this series. David Holmberg will go tomorrow night in the finale. Sanford will look at a strike, says Bill Worthington. It's 0-1. Darian had a base hit earlier today, stole his league-leading 22nd base of the season. Dormany brings that home. It is fouled away. 2 strikes the count.
Well, we touched on it earlier in the season when, Sanford was having his struggles at the plate. It was just a matter of time. When he gets on base, the stolen bases are going to accumulate as well, and it's falling into place right now for him.
Did somebody just yell, hit a home run? I heard it in the background. 0-2. Rolled out ahead of the plate. This becomes a tricky play. Gonzalez up with it. He fires and gets him. Sanford retired 2-3.
All I want is to be here in the booth when he does hit it, just to hear your call. That
little funny hop off the lip of the dirt circle there, but Gonzalez got on it. He threw out Sanford, 1 away. Michael Martinez will come to the plate. Somebody yelling out, hit a home run with Darian Sanford at the plate. Swinging a foul tip. It's 0-1. Dunked the basketball to Muggsy Bogues.
Well, it's been done. So the pressure's on Darian.
0-1. Inside. Martinez, 1 hit again. He also had a sac fly in game 1. He is such a steady performer day in and day out. Fouled away against Dormany. It is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Dormany's allowed 47 hits in a little over 42 innings. He's walked 17, struck out 30. Just gives the Patriots a good start, time in and time out. Here's the 1-2. 2-2. Yelled out, hit a home run again. Better chance with Martinez.
Yeah.
Michael's hit 3.
This is the first time in these new unis. This is the first time I've seen this look.
The Barnstormers wear these on the road quite often. They have the last couple of seasons. You don't see them at home very much. 2-2 up the middle and a base hit. Michael Martinez again is on base during a game. 25 of his last 28, he has had a base hit.
Well, and he started the season in the leadoff spot, and I was going to ask you, does he feel more comfortable at number 2?
the plan all along was to have Darian back at number one. It's just Darian wasn't swinging the bat well. Once he started to produce, Sanford 1, Martinez 2, dropping everybody down 1. I love the combination.
Oh, I do too.
Here is Gamache. Dan has struggled this series. He has yet to pick up a base hit against the Patriots. Down and away to him. Ball 1-0. Still 3-11. 5 homers, 41 runs batted in. And he has not hit a ball well in his 7 at-bats in this series. It's so unusual to see him go that long. The Dormany pitch is inside and low. 2 balls and no strikes. On deck is Caleb Gindel. You do not have a pure right-handed batter in against the lefty until the number 9 spot in the batting order in Zach Shank. 2-0. Gamache lashes this up the middle. It's back-to-back singles to center. You cannot keep that guy quiet for that long. First and second, here's Gindel.
Well, I guess he heard your comment about not hitting a solid ball in this series. Well, he ripped that one.
The best part about Gindel is you simply never know. You can't defend him. He will use the entire field, this time right dead through the wickets of those pink bristles and out into center. Gindel drove in his 44th run. He went 2 for 3 with a pair of infield singles in game 1. Dormany to the plate, and Gindel takes it low. Ball 1-0. A chance for the Barnstormers to break out early.
And that is so key. You know, because last night, first couple innings, it was scoreless, and then you had that blow-up inning, and after that, they were playing catch-up.
Breaking ball to the outer edge for a strike. Gindel bats at 1-1. Caleb has hurt Somerset. He has batted .448 with 3 home runs in the season series. He's 4 for 6 here this week. 1-1. Gindel reaches out, punches that to third. Taking it to the bag is Navarro. His throw to first will not be in time. 5 unassisted on Martinez. I guess all in all, that was not a bad decision on Navarro's part. He was only going to get 1 out on that play pretty much no matter what he did. So he got the lead man.
Yeah, and that was a tough play because his momentum is taking him out of play, and he's got to throw across the diamond. But yeah, a heads-up play, you get the lead out, you pick up the second out of the inning, and now a chance for Dormany to get out of the inning.
Terdoslavich 2 for 3 in game 1 with his 11th home run of the year. Breaking ball spins low from Dormany. But the 2 singles will have done no good unless Terdoslavich delivers here.
And he hit the always popular home run to left field, I heard and saw.
Bounder foul. It's 1-1. First one by a Barnstormer here this season.
That is amazing.
The entire team is just built to bat from the left side of the plate. You've got the couple switch hitters. And Terdoslavich, the first one to leave the yard.
It took 55 games.
Well, the 29th home game. Check swing and a foul. Dormany is almost out of the inning. But you have to realize that this is not uncommon for Thomas Dormany. He's given up 47 hits, 17 walks. His WHIP is not that great. But not that many of those runners have scored. His ERA below 3 with a WHIP of about 1.5. Off speed and away. Terdoslavich bats at 2-2.
So it's kind of the bend but don't break mentality. Guys get on base, but he leaves them stranded. But I think if they could get an early run here, just for the psyche of Nauman, to be pitching with a lead, and obviously an impressive first inning for Buddy.
Retie of the shoe, and Dormany is ready to go. He's a Floridian from Lutz, Florida, 27 years of age. Wildwood, Florida, more recently. 2-2 to another Floridian, Joe Terdoslavich. He held just in the nick of time. 3-2. Buzz Albert has joined in on this crew. He's calling the shots over at first base. Runners will be going.
Yeah, he
was
go.
pushing the edge of the envelope, but I don't think he did.
Nope.
Gamache and Gindel take off with the next one. Here is the pitch, and that is looped foul. Runners retreat. 20th pitch of the bottom of the inning. Dormany has averaged about 5 1/3 innings per start. This is his 9th as a Patriot.
That's what you like to see. Make him work in that first inning, too. It's still really warm here this evening.
Payoff pitch, and Joe wraps that foul wide of third. Dormany getting a workout. His defense getting a workout, but so are Gamache and Gindel.
Getting a little sprint work in.
Two-a-days at Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's what today is. It's a two-a-day.
Yeah.
Three-two once more to the Lancaster DH. And ball 4 is served in low. It gives Hobson a chance with the bases loaded.
Well, yeah, that's a really nice at-bat by Terdoslavich, fouling off a number of pitches and then able to hold up on 2 pitches that were diving out of the strike zone. That's a really good at-bat.
I don't know that he ever missed his pitch on that at-bat. I don't know that it ever came. Well, take the walk. Hobson steps in. Casey broke out of a home run drought earlier today with his first in 20 days. Number 10 on the year, his 66th in a Barnstormers uniform, second all time.
Well, he hit the ball well last night, too.
He had 2 hits and a loud out.
Yes. So hopefully these are things that are starting to fall into place, and maybe KC can go on a tear.
I'll sacrifice my nap on Monday for KC to get some hits.
Have you told him that?
Strike at the knees, it's 0-1. I went downstairs to take a nap in the umpire's room after coming back from that long road trip, and just as I did, Casey and Caleb Gindel went into the cage and started hitting, and there went the idea. But I'll give up that nap. Swinging a foul tip. Hobson trails 0-2 against Dormany. Hobson in this series, 3 hits, including the home run. He's driven in a couple. Gindel is 4 out of 7. Not being able to sleep was worth it.
Now he's got to get defensive with an 0-2 count. Look for Dormany to try and get KC to go fishing on something.
The 0-2.
Like that.
Didn't break out the rod and reel.
Nope.
It will stay in the truck. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And believe me, Gindel and Hobson fish a lot. There is a particular pond, the location of which will not be divulged, that the 2 of them really like. Butch used to go there all the time. 1-2.
Third little escape. I can't blame him.
Dormany backing away for a moment. It's been a long bottom of the first, but to this moment, not a productive one for the Barnstormers. And Hobson takes strike 3 on the inside corner.
Good pitch.
Dormany crossed him up and came in on him. 2 hits, 3 are left. And at the end of 1, there is no score. Barnstormers had the big threat. The dogs barked, but they didn't bite in the bottom of the first inning. And we are scoreless. Somerset went down more like pussycats in the first inning. 1, 2, 3, 2 strikeouts and a ground out.
Bauman had good stuff. I mean, went right after the batters, got ahead in the count, registered 2 strikeouts.
We'll face Edwin Espinal to lead off the second inning. Espinal, 308, 3 home runs. He's 5 for 8 in this series. 3 hits earlier today and scored a run. He came across the plate twice last night. Bauman deals and finds the outer edge. It's 0-1. The Barnstormers just could not bring anybody home in that first inning and give Bauman that long needed run support. Pretty much got started with Buddy starting here back in early May against Sugar Land. The game went 10 innings and Lancaster lost 1-0. Ground ball toward the middle. Going for it is Martinez, and he can't find the handle. Espinal just keeps reaching base. Bauman generally makes that, or Martinez rather generally makes that play, but he couldn't hang on to this one. He had gone a long way. It'll be a base hit.
Yeah, just that last hop went up on him and got him in the heel of the glove.
If you're stationary, it's an error. When you're bolting to your left, it's a hit. Michael Ullman, the designated hitter, comes to the plate. Ullman, 2 for 4 in game 1. Takes the ball here. He's on an incredible on-base streak. He has reached now in 23 consecutive games. Fouled away.
Yeah, I'm just looking through the numbers on this Somerset team, and a lot of these guys are having a really good month of June. I mean, just consistent. Yeah, we touched on it last night. You know, you get the timely hitting, you get solid pitching, and a steady defense behind you. That recipe registers a lot of wins.
2-1 on Ullman. Bauman trying to find the right pitch to coax a double play. He is up, and it's ball 3. The first inning went by in a breeze for Bauman. 11 pitches, 2 strikeouts, and a ground ball. Now he's in trouble. Single off the glove of the shortstop. 3-1 pitch. Ullman takes a rip and fouls it away. Full count. Espinal, not a guy you send. He's not being held by Hobson over at first base, or at least not tightly. Earlier today, he represented the tying run in the 5th inning, and Lancaster didn't hold him. Ground ball, shortstop. Martinez gloves. He goes to Gamache, 1, back to first. That's routine, a double play. 6-4-3, discount shrimp.
Oh, that's right.
2 outs, and Michael Kraus will come to the plate.
That's textbook. I mean, nice play, you know, by Martinez, and a quick pivot, fires a strike to second, and then, you know, this is what these guys work on consistently, and it's so nice to see him. It's effortless, really, but it's not.
Bauman started to get into the kind of fix that has plagued this starting rotation, coming off a perfect inning, but he found a way to get out of it, get the double play ground ball. Breaking ball is away to Kraus, 1-1.
And now with 2 outs, a chance for him to get out of an inning without a lot of pitches.
Fastball by Kraus. When I talk about Bauman being sneaky fast,
yeah,
that was a classic example of it. It's not overpowering on the radar gun, but the ball whips out of the hand. It's Onion Hurry. Just did it again. Up and in on Kraus. 3rd strikeout for Buddy. A 3-batter inning with 1 hit, none left. And bottom of the 2nd coming up in a scoreless tie. a cell phone. It's the 21st century. She probably has one too.
Yeah, too busy gnawing on the popcorn.
Should be texting in INC. I need changed.
Oh, I was like, okay, I'm not up on these acronyms. You're going to have to fill me in.
Parker Morin's second home run broke up Brett Oberholzer's no-hit bid last night. Again, the top two catchers, De La Rosa and Morin, both with fairly respectable offensive numbers here in 2019. Dormany to the plate. He misses wide.
Yeah, I was looking at that, and De La Rosa at 296, Morin at 290. That's nice offensive numbers.
Between them, 6
Absolutely.
home runs, 27 runs batted in. Swing and a miss by Parker. It is 1-1. Morin can hang in and do damage to left-handed pitchers, or he can, on any given at bat, look bad against left-handers breaking balls, and that was the case there. In the background, we hear that it is Bark in the Park night. What do they call it? The Midnight Bark or the Midnight Yell and 101 Dalmatians. That's what it sounds like. 2-1. Last night, we were all about Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, that's right.
Tonight, perhaps Disney themed, but we'll see how it goes. There's no telling where my mind is going to wander this evening.
And I think the more tired you get, the more it wanders.
I'm on a nearly week-long nitrous oxide fix without actually having a mask over my face. It's just the way I've felt. 2-2. Dennis could be working on my teeth. I wouldn't know. Morin stands in against Dormany with an even count. Lefty to the plate, and it's ball 3. And now it's Thomas Dormany's turn to run up a lot of pitches. He's thrown more already than Bauman has through 2 innings.
Well, and again, it was fouling off pitches and guys being very selective at the plate. Good plate presence.
Parker with a ground ball that is rolled to Scott Kelly. Easy throw to first. 1 man down. Josh Bell will come in. Bell has the opportunity to bat from the right side of the plate. It's hard to believe where Bell's numbers are. He is 2 for his last 27. 18 for his last 100. Fastball is high, ball 1. Guy who 3 years ago led the Atlantic League in runs batted in. And believe me, his desire to perform at that level has not waned 1 iota. Swing and a miss. 1-1.
That's why this game can be very humbling. You know, you get in a stretch where it looks like there's a beach ball coming in, and then when things aren't going well, it looks like you're trying to hit a P.
Change of speeds, and Bell has the edge 2-1. Zach Shank is on deck. Dormany again running long counts, averaging 4.5 pitches per batter. Bauman's averaging 4, but he's faced the minimum. There's the 3-1. Bell takes a second strike, and another batter goes to full against Dormany.
Again, you're making Dormany work, and you're giving Nauman a chance to rest.
The payoff on Bell, he swings and misses. That is the second strikeout for Dormany. And brings on Shank, the left fielder. 187 hitter.
Nauman is getting a chance to rest, but he's also sitting in the direct sunlight, too. So He's baking like we are. I like his walk-up song.
Little old school rock.
Yes.
I can't place the song. I know.
Led Zeppelin.
Led Zeppelin. Off speed to Shank, a strike. 1-1.
The off-speed pitch seems to be working for Dormany tonight. Fooled Hobson to end the first inning. Good pitch there.
Fastball now to the outside corner. Shank bats at 1-2. Only real threat this entire game was in the Barnstormers' first inning. It hangs up outside, but in a place where Shank could do no damage to it. 2-2 to the slender Barnstormers utility man, getting the start in left field here this evening. Two is on the way. That is elevated. Will go foul out of play down the right field side. Still 2-2. Another long at bat. Martinez and Gamache consecutive singles in the first inning. Other than that, nobody has hit the ball well against Dormany. Two. Ground ball left side. There to knock it down is Rodriguez, but there's no play. Shank is on. The lineup turns over to Darian Sanford.
I had just enough eyes to sneak through, and even if Rodriguez comes up with that ball, he's not going to get Shank at first.
Shank runs well enough. I think he beats that out. Great effort from Rodriguez. Lancaster with a 2-out base runner. Sanford tapped out in front of the plate, his first trip.
I wouldn't mind seeing a little hit and run here.
Shank has stolen 3.
Of course, unless Sanford hits a home run.
They'll be yelling for it down in the crowd.
Haven't heard it yet.
Long time in the set, and finally Dormany decides to go to first and chase Shank once again.
Has Sanford ever hit a home run, do you know?
I would have to go back through his career. It seems to me he may have 1 or 2, probably inside the park would be my guess. Now, if he's going to hit one in the Atlantic League, and he has come close, it will probably be in Southern Maryland, batting right-handed. He has a bit more power from the right side of the plate. I don't think he chokes up as far, and he has hit the ball off the wall there.
What's the dimensions down there?
It's 310.
Okay.
Tries to bunt his way on, foul tips it. 1 strike to Sanford. Bunting is not as easy as it looks. There are those who believe you should be able to get the bunt down every single time you try to do so. Well, that may be if somebody's lobbing it up there, but when those pitches are coming in at 90 with break, it's full swing and a bounder foul.
It truly is an art. It's something you really need to work at. And we've talked about it, that you don't see the bunt anymore. You don't see the hit and run as much anymore. There's a lot of things that we remember being part of baseball 10, 15 years ago, and you just don't see it as much.
The finesse has largely gone away. It's all about brute force now. 0-2 pitch taken for strike 3. That is strikeout number 3 for the left-hander Dormany. 1 hit, 1 left, and at the end of 2, we remain scoreless. Mark in the Park night, Dollar Dog night, we don't get them confused. We go to the lower half of the top half rather, of the third inning. Alfredo Rodriguez will get things started. Everybody in the Atlantic League by now familiar with this guy. He takes a strike from Bauman. It is 0-1. You have to feel sorry for Buddy.
Yeah.
Just never gets any support. Nobody ever props him up. He's out there on his own. 1-1. It's a sad story. It's Dickensian. He's David Copperfield.
Oh.
Oliver Twist. Orphan out on the field. Fouled away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. They get him a run. He comes back to the dugout. More, sir. One, 2, ground ball toward the hole. There is Martinez, backhanded stop, hangs the throw, 1 out.
You know, you think when it gets hit towards the hole, you got a shot, but Martinez gobbles it up. Got a nice bounce. And again, that quick turn and release.
The defense takes care of Buddy all right. It's the offense just doesn't put anything out on the table for him.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I mentioned it earlier too. I mean, it's kind of like what Jacob deGrom went through last year. I mean, the run support he got was nil. He had to pitch near perfect baseball every time out.
Cy Young worthy and under 500.
Yeah.
2-0 to Kelly. Earlier today, he walked twice and struck out once. Barnstormer's pitching missed with about 10 of the first 11 pitches to him. Bauman finds the range here, 2-1. And Kelly knows his job's to get on base any way he can. Fouled at the dish.
And that was headed right back to our cameraman.
Up and over the screen into the seats. You're not fully safe back there, but they really can't do much in the way of harm. 3-2. Now Bauman goes to a full count. The payoff to Kelly. He's on again with a walk. He'll wait them out. Bauman walks his 24th of the year in 62 1/3 innings. It's 3-4, 3-5 per 9. Not where anybody really wants to live. Long Island with a 4-1 lead over New Britain in the bottom of the 4th of the single game they play tonight. Somerset losing ground. Toss to first. Kelly is back in. Anderson De La Rosa gunned him down in the third inning today, but as much as De La Rosa made the throw, Martinez made the pick of the hop and got the tag on. That's grounded to third. Bell goes to second one. Gamache back to first. A double play on Yovan Gonzalez. And the shrimp is getting cheaper. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. Bottom of the third. Coming up in a scoreless ball game. We remain scoreless heading into the bottom half of the third. Buddy Bauman has been brilliant, and when he has cracked it all tonight, an infield single and a walk, he comes right out and gets a double play. He has faced the minimum of 9 batters.
And it puts Dormany right back on the mound again. Not much rest for Dormany.
2, 3, and 4 hitters, Martinez, Gamache, and Gindel, scheduled in the lower half of the third inning. Lights have been turned on here at Clipper Magazine Stadium, and they might help on parts of this field. They don't help us at all. May not even be noticed in here.
We still have nature's light in our eyes.
Rather long inning break. Michael Martinez will lead off. He singled up the middle back in the first inning. He has been so good at so much. I can't see him not being invited to the All-Star game, which now is only a couple of weeks away, 2 weeks from tonight. The only thing that might keep him from being there was the late arrival. He's been tremendous in the field and no slouch at the plate. Constant contributions. Off speed and outside. Dormany works to Martinez at 1-1.
Well, I mean, you've seen everybody around the league. What other shortstops are having all-star type seasons?
Well, it's just this division is all you're up against. They've got Alvaro Rondon now over from Sugar Land. He's at York. Ryan Dent is at York. Edwin Garcia and Ryan Jackson from Southern Maryland and Sugar Land, respectively. I don't see anybody that's been as good as Michael Martinez. 2-2 to him. Dormany comes back, gets him to swing and miss. Off speed. Dormany strikes out his fourth. Dan Gamache wrapped a single up the middle his first time up.
Yeah, Dormany has found his out pitch here tonight. He gets ahead in the count. That off-speed pitch is nasty.
Barnstormers are victimized by the invasion of Dormany.
Oh, Oh. Yeah, Dave's getting tired.
Like I said, nitrous oxide. It's like I'm on it. Gamache with a swing and a foul away. 0-1. The filter's completely gone. It's been erased. Ground ball pulled foul for a second strike. It's 0-2.
You know, going back into the first inning with those back-to-back singles by Martinez and Gamache, what I like is right back through the middle. They squared up and just right through the box.
Nobody's been able to do that since, or really hit the ball that hard since. Gamache in here at no balls, 2 strikes. The pitch to him. He fights it off. Ross Peoples coaching third. Happy to finally get that 20th win earlier today. Finally a ball on this plate appearance to Dan Gamache. It is 1-2.
Well, the long innings haven't affected Dormany, that's for sure.
He's likely to be fully stretched out, and I have a feeling deep counts are not foreign to him. The 5 1/3 inning per start average when he's been a starter in his career is indicative that this is not an atypical performance. 1-2 on Gamache. Dan with a fly ball out the left, chasing it back is the third baseman Navarro. He can't get there. And Gamache will continue to face Dormany at 1 ball and 2 strikes.
He had to put the brakes on pretty quick. Between the bench, the wall, and the fence. That's the trifecta right there.
Dan back in at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Trying to wear Dormany down. Caleb Gindel waits on deck. 1-2 breaking ball, and that's fouled.
Well, they continue to make Dormany throw more pitches.
2 strike foul balls that can be, as we well know, very effective. York is beating Southern Maryland again tonight. 3-1 in the bottom of the 3rd inning. York trying to make a run at Sugar Land. The Skeeters have stumbled. 1-2 once more. Gamache just gets a piece. He will not go away.
I'd really love to see him get on base after this prolonged at bat.
One and 2 is on the way. Dormany to the plate, and it's dribbled back up the middle and through. Gamache gets his 2nd hit. Again, taking it right back through the box. This one had far less steam on it than the one in the 1st inning, mind you.
It's all right. The single in the book is all that matters.
He was able to squirt that between Rodriguez and Kelly. Here is Caleb Gindel with Gamache again, a base runner. Five unassisted was that fielder's choice back in the 1st.
Boy, and Somerset's defense is tempting Caleb to try and hit it down the left field line.
And he's so good at it, too.
I mean, Navarro is so far off third base.
But they're not convinced that Caleb can go the other way against Dormany's particular style.
Well, all it takes is 1 hit, and that'll change their philosophy.
One on Caleb, waved at. You're not going to get many fastballs from Dormany, and when you do, they catch you by surprise. There was one, and inside.
Yeah, it's the off-speed pitch that you got to look for with Dormany, especially if you're behind in the count.
Two one on Gindel, taken for strike two across the knees. Dormany still averaging about 5 pitches per batter. Bauman is under 4. 2-2. Gindel with a bouncer, first base side of the mound. Dormany will flag it and feed Espinal. At least it moves Gamache to second. Joe Trdoslavich will try to pick him up. Lancaster not squaring much up, and they have not hit a ball in the air in this game. The singles have all been ground balls. The outs have been strikeouts or ground balls. He has Lancaster either swinging over the top or hitting the top. Joe Trdoslavich looking to drive in a run.
Well, and you said in his first at bat, maybe he really didn't see a pitch that he really liked, but he worked a long
Gets through Gonzalez and on to third goes Gamache. My senses tell me that is a pass ball, but I don't get to make the decisions.
Yeah.
So we'll bring it up online and check it out.
I'm in agreement. I mean, the pitch was down, but Gonzalez didn't get his glove down and get down low enough to keep the ball in front of him. Just shot right between his legs.
1-0 on Trdoslavich. Fastball for a strike. It is 1-1. And that is the ruling. Pass ball. Gamache up the line from third. Trdoslavich tied up inside. It's 1-2.
Now, see, that's the other thing about Dormany tonight is, I mean, he's hitting his spots all throughout the strike zone.
Same can be said for Bauman.
Yes.
One-two, smash off the glove momentarily of Navarro, but he's able to retain control and gun down Trdoslavich. Lancaster denied in the bottom of the third. We'll go to the fourth. It's a Bauman game. We're scoreless. Beautiful night for baseball and apparently a conversation. Barnstormers actually now have 4 hits, half the total by Dan Gamache. It's always a great night to be at the ballpark. Even in the middle of winter, it was nice to be out here with the Christmas displays. I love that. I got here on a Saturday night late in December, pouring down rain, but what a remarkable light show that was we had in here. Justin Pacioli takes the first pitch, wraps it toward the middle. Gamache spins, throws, and makes a play. A dandy by Dan, 1 out.
Well, the defense has been stellar tonight behind Bauman. A couple of double plays and a really nice backhand by Gamache and an accurate throw to finish it off.
The way Bauman is pitching, he's going to get plays like that. Earlier I talked about Martinez being such a great shortstop, Darian Sanford remarkable in center, and I said Dan Gamache is a decent second baseman, but he does make plays like that, and it helps out his pitcher as well. Barnstormers are extremely solid up the middle. 1 strike, and a breaking ball misses to Navarro. It is 1-1. Outside for ball 2. I love the fact that on Bark in the Park night, we have a pitcher by the name of Buddy Bauman. Swing and a miss. It's 2-2.
If only Len Barker was a pitching coach for him.
Oh, yeah. To right field. Fading back is Gindel for the catch. Navarro becomes the second out here in the 4th inning. Bauman has faced the minimum of 11 batters through 3 2/3. Jimmy Paredes will come in. Paredes grounded out 5-3 back in the 1st inning.
Boy, and how big were those double plays, too, in the 2nd and 3rd innings?
They always help.
Yeah.
There's never a bad time for a double play if you're on the mound.
Well, even more so on a hot night like this, and you want to get to the dugout and get rehydrated.
To Paredes, by him a swing and a miss.
Boy, he challenged him. And Paredes, that was quite the rip.
Bauman with that arm angle gets that fastball on you in a hurry. It looks faster than the 89 that it recorded on the board. Grounded foul at the third base side. 2 strikes in a hurry.
Yeah. Sneaky, deceptive. We can come up with some different adjectives as far as his fastball is concerned.
0-2 pitch. High and wide. Again, the fastball. 1-2. Bauman was talking with Jared Lakin the other day about all the mechanics that go into pitching, and these last 2, it looks like he's flown open a bit, which is something that he battles. And it's just about getting to certain points in your delivery when you rotate that shoulder around. 2-2 is in the air toward right center field. Galloping over is Sanford. Bauman has a clean inning here in the 4th. It took a nice play by Gamache to get it started. And we'll go to the bottom half of the 4th inning in a scoreless battle. Barnstormers and the Patriots take the ball game into the bottom half of the fourth inning. Day-night doubleheader. Lancaster looking for a sweep. The Barnstormers were swept their first three doubleheaders of the season. They split the fourth. They were awfully close to sweeping a doubleheader last Friday night at Long Island, and then it was a tsunami of runs in the bottom of the sixth inning. Hobson leads off the fourth. He went down looking. The first time up against Dormany, who is fan 4. To the plate and a strike to KC. 0-1. Parker Morin and Josh Bell will follow in the lower half of the fourth inning. Dormany doesn't get much support either. It's like these two are destined to face each other. 2-4 with a 2.98 ERA, 2-6 with a 4.2 ERA.
Both on their games tonight.
Popped up by Hobson. Rare ball in the air, and it will be taken by Gonzalez. One down, bottom of the fourth. Morin will step in. Parker grounded out, back in the second. Lancaster seemed fairly close to scoring in the latter half of the third inning on that ground ball by Trdoslavich, which kicked off Navarro's glove over at third, but the ball didn't go anywhere. And Navarro was able to recollect it and fire across the diamond, ending the inning. Morin tries a bunt. He had a lot of real estate over there, but the ball fell off the edge of the lawn, and he's down a strike.
I like the idea.
I think it was a great idea, but he just couldn't get it actually even up on the grass. If the grass holds that, he likely beats it out.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody was in position to handle it.
If you catch the defense back and they're napping and not paying attention, absolutely try and do that.
No balls and a strike to the Lancaster catcher. He has to be so grateful to Somerset for throwing 4 left-handers in this series. Breaking ball waved at. Quickly 0-2. 74 pitches for Dormany, 46 for Bauman, the unofficial totals. That is a huge gap.
Yes, it is.
2 strikes to Morin, breaking ball again, swing and a miss. That is 5 punch-outs for Thomas Dormany. Josh Bell, one of those earlier, will get a second look.
That is just a nasty pitch. Right now, Lancaster can't pick it up and figure it out.
There are different ways to pitch, and I think baseball has lost sight of that. You can overpower people, but you can also trick them. Dormany is the latter. Ball 1, low to Bell. Lancaster with 4 singles, all on the ground, 1 infield base hit. For the Somerset Patriots, the pitching has been very sharp here in our night game. Ball 2 is inside, 2-0, but Bauman and Dormany could rest earlier today. The other guys were out in the broiling sun. Could be a factor. Not saying it is necessarily. Bell now at 3-0.
And let's not forget, these guys at the plate right now still staring with the sun in their eyes.
The Dormany pitch off the outside corner, ball 4. Bell picks up the walk. That is the second Dormany has allowed. Oh, we talked about the numbers earlier. Dormany with that WHIP of roughly 1.5, and yet the low ERA. It goes hand in hand with tonight. He's given up 4 singles, 2 walks in 3 2/3 innings, but he hasn't been harmed. Now here's Shank, who singled to the hole at shortstop his first trip.
Ouch.
That hurts. 0-1. The walk to Bell helps because even if nothing happens here, it gets Sanford up leading off the next inning. Off the ankle.
Oh. That's going to leave a mark.
That was not a glancing blow.
No.
That one had to hurt. Another war wound. By August, these guys will be black and blue from top to bottom. That ball is hit very well to left center field. Sprinting over on it is Pacioli. Krause as well, and it's into the gap. Here comes Bell. He's on his way home. A throw to third base, and he is out there. They wave off the run.
Oh, no. He scored.
They waved off the run. It is a double for Zach Shank. Josh Bell never would have been thrown out at the plate, and they're going to wave off the run. The out on Shank at third, and Bell, it is ruled, had not crossed the plate. The Barnstormers do not get the run. Shank cranks a long double to left center field. Krause couldn't get there. Pacioli backs it up in the gap. The throw to Rodriguez and to the third baseman. Navarro lays the tag on, and the run is waved off for the Lancaster Barnstormers, and will go to the fifth scoreless. This is one of the toughest calls for an umpiring crew to make. I think they were right. It was awfully close, but I think they were right waving off that run. Shank thrown out at third, and that's a mistake on the part of the Barnstormers. He should have held at second base there. First pitch, a called strike on Edwin Espinal. I think that Bill Worthington and Bill Reuter, Buzz Albert, they all got that one right. Again, incredibly close.
Yeah.
But it looked to me, and I couldn't tell exactly where the plate was, but it looked like his foot was in the air above the plate when Shank was tagged out. Fouled away by Espinal, still 2 strikes.
Well, and you know what? There's a lot of different scenarios there. Yeah, Shank probably should have stayed at second, but when he saw it glance off of the glove of Pacioli, or Krause, I should say, he thought he can get third base. I'm thinking Bell thought he would stay at second.
Line drive deep into right center field. That will deflect off the wall, and Espinal has both hits in this game and both singles of entirely different varieties. Espinal may be slower than Ramon Cabrera. I had said Cabrera, from the catcher from the Long Island Ducks, might be the slowest base runner in the Atlantic League, but Espinal is right there with him. However, Espinal also happens to have 7 hits in this series. That brings on the designated hitter Ullman, who grounded into a 6-4-3 double play back in the second inning. Baumann is inside for a ball. It is 1-0. Shank 2 for 2. He gets a double. He out goes 7-6-5 on him at third base. Bell did not cross. 2-0 to Ullman. Or at least it did not appear that he had when we looked at the split screen. Now Baumann in some trouble as we get the 5th inning underway. He finds the outside part of the plate, 2-1.
Could use that double play ball again.
He's upstairs, 3-1. This does mirror the second inning. He was 3-1 on Ullman there also. The Patriots with that relay cutting the guy down at third have to be a little bit fired up. Foul tip, 3-2. And a payoff pitch, rocked toward right field and deep. Back on this goes Gindel. He will look up, and the walls will not contain it. A 2-run homer to the opposite field for Michael Ullman, and Somerset, after getting out of the 4th inning without getting nicked, jumps on Baumann for the 2-run homer. It is 2-0.
Oh, it just...
The
It's
story
like a bad dream
of the season. Baumann giving up his 6th home run in his last 3 starts after only allowing 2 in his first 48 innings of the year. Up onto the porch, and a reboot for Somerset here in the 5th inning. Baumann had faced the minimum of 12 batters in 4 innings, and all of a sudden, the right-handed batters get the idea of driving the ball to right field. Both succeed. And it's ball 1 on Kraus.
Well, you could see it on the replay. Kept his hands back.
Kraus tries to do the same thing. He lifts it down the right field line. Giving chase is Gindel, but a foul ball. And it's 1-1.
Ooh.
You have to keep hitters guessing. Somehow, here by the 5th inning, the middle of the order, has gotten locked in on taking Baumann the other way. He had a 1-hit shutout through 4. To Kraus, strike 2. Lancaster has to start all over. Sanford, Martinez, and Gamache in the bottom of the inning.
Kraus was asking, where was that pitch? Bill Worthington said at the knees.
Kraus said, who's?
Yeah, exactly.
Swing and a miss.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
4th strikeout for Baumann tonight as Kraus is gone. 1 away, and Alfredo Rodriguez comes to the plate. Alfredo Rodriguez, one of the fine folks we have here in the Atlantic League. They love him in Somerset. And a wag who shall be nameless at this point in time said about Rodriguez earlier this year, it's so wonderful to deal with somebody named A. Rodriguez who's actually nice and pleasant to talk to. Breaking ball is inside. It is 1-1.
A wag?
A wit? Yes, a wag.
What?
It's an old-fashioned term for somebody with a sense of humor.
Oh.
Now, Alfredo Rodriguez tries to go down the right field line, but he pushes it foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That's a new term. I had not heard that before.
I was reminded of that term in a crossword puzzle I was doing the other night. See, that's why I do those. improves my vocabulary.
Yeah, maybe I ought to start.
Off speed in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, that's right. I'll just sit and watch Jeopardy and see how much I don't know.
Lined out to right field also. Gindel cutting across, reaches up, and he has got that for out number 2.
Yeah, Caleb with a good jump on it, but it also helped that it was tailing back toward him as well. With a nice running catch.
Jeopardy is humbling. When you have somebody like James Holzhauer, or our own Brad Rutter from here in Lancaster, competing on Jeopardy, you can't help but feel like an idiot.
It just amazes me that people just know that much information about so many different things.
It's one of the things, though, that I do during the off season is I host academic bowl tournaments. I'm an MC.
Really?
During the winter with the high school students. Kelly skies this out to left. On for it comes Shank. It's an easy play out there. But the first 2 batters play wall ball, 2 runs score, and it's Somerset in the lead. Food at the ballpark, nothing like it. I'm having one of those delicious banana splits. Is that what I'm seeing? I got a small taste of one earlier tonight. And I mean small. From our MLB stringer, James Murray, who's also my on-air backup.
So he had one before the game?
Yes.
And he just there we go.
There we go. A nightly tradition here on Blue Ridge 11. Baseball and ice cream. Hint, hint. Darian
calling
Sanford
all cars.
Leads off the home half of the 5th inning. Oh for 2 against Dormany so far. The kick and the pitch. Strike 1 taken.
But between innings, a couple innings ago, you mentioned about Bark in the Park and coming up with some baseball names. My wheels have been spinning. I'm trying to come up with some.
Fouled along the first base side. Espinal with a chance in the catch. Sanford is 0 for 3.
That's a big man right there.
He goes 250 at least. Michael Martinez is in, 1 out of 2. And this is not such a big guy, but he can play. One and 0 to Michael Martinez. Foul ball handled by Navarro. It's 1-1. Having Michael Martinez here, a little bit reminiscent of the couple of years that Wilson Valdez was in this league with Camden and York. He could still play too. He made one of the best plays defensively I can remember in this league because of how creative it was. Bouncer to third. Low throw dug out by Espinal. Two gone, and Dan Gamache will step in.
That's a play where Espinal shouldn't have to dig one out of the dirt.
Yeah, that's an easy throw.
That is.
And Martinez almost beat it out anyway. And Ross Peoples is discussing the matter with Buzz Albert.
A little too nonchalant on the part of Navarro.
These guys have been out here for a brutally long day. We'll check it again. Oh, that was the complaint. Navarro's foot was off.
And the thing is, Martinez was even pointing that out to Buzz Albert.
As we look at it on the replay.
Great camera work.
Gamache 2 for 2. Making up for lost time after not having hit the first two games of this series. Espinal handles the throw. His foot it did not appear to be on that base.
I mean, a nice pick by Espinal, but you got to keep that foot on.
Gamache floats it out the center. On for it is Kraus. It's a 1-2-3 inning. The first posted by Dormany. We're through 5 with the Patriots leading 2-0.
Top half of the sixth inning, final game of this series against the Somerset Patriots coming up tomorrow evening. First pitch will be at 7 o'clock. And then we're back again on Sunday afternoon when Lancaster takes on the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs.
Buddy Bauman has pitched very well tonight, but back-to-back hitters in the top of the fifth got to him. Now Jovan Gonzalez steps in, not just a ground out, but a double play. Closing out the top half of the third. Buddy fires a strike to start off Gonzalez. 0-1 on the right-handed batting catcher. Ullman caught this afternoon. He's swinging the bat so well that Brett Jody felt compelled to keep him in the lineup tonight. The DH in game 2, and he's the man with the 2-run homer. 1-1 to Gonzalez, foul to the net.
You know, here's the contrast. Somerset through 5 innings has not left a runner on base. Buddy Bauman has thrown far fewer pitches. Lancaster has left 6 runners on base, including bases loaded in the first inning, and are trailing 2-0. It's maddening.
Two, and Gonzalez drives the ball to right. Back on it goes Gindel, leaping up. Can't make the play. Gonzalez headed for second. He'll be in with a leadoff double. They have it started again. It's all about taking Bauman to the opposite field. Gindel gave it a shot out there.
Just about a foot out of Caleb's reach.
Justin Pacioli, 0 for 2, robbed by Gamash's last time up, stepping in. But the gap in pitch counts narrows. Grounded foul by Pacioli. It's 0-1. Somerset poised for a third run.
Well, Lancaster's done a nice job, though, of keeping Pacioli off the base.
He's 1 for 10 in the series. Again to right field. Back goes Gindel one more time, and he's got to play here. Gonzalez will tag and dart to third. He's in easily.
Third baseman Ray Navarro.
Ray Navarro coming to the plate with a great chance to drive in a third run. Everything's been hit in Gindel's direction. And you'd almost have to think it's time for somehow Morin and Bauman to switch game plans.
Yeah, that's one.
Krause hit a ball barely foul out that way. 3 other batters hit the ball to deep right last inning. Both have this frame. Infield draws in, and a pop-up off the bat of Navarro, again toward the right side, but this one belongs to Hobson.
Boy, that
2
is
outs. That's a big
huge
out.
out.
You still have to deal with Jimmy Paredes.
Yeah, so how do you approach this at bat? I mean,
with Espinal on deck, you have to go after Paredes.
Absolutely.
You have no choice here. Espinal 2 for 2 tonight, 7 hits in the series. And a Paredes check swing on a high heat. Ball 1-0.
Well, and we saw in the last at bat to Paredes, the first couple of pitches were all fastballs. He was challenging him. Yeah, it's a little chess match now.
Little looper toward the middle. Martinez gets rid of it in a hurry. Paredes is gone 6-3. Bauman out of danger in the 6th. 1 hit, 1 left. Lancaster still down by 2. Another pretty sunset at Clipper Magazine Stadium as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Longer than we normally have the sun into a game here, but we're just past the solstice. Bauman and Dorminey have both had very good nights. Buddy Bauman right now working on his 7th quality start. Dorminey gets to stay out there for the 6th inning. Gindel, Cherdaslevich, and Hobson will face him.
That'll do for a breakout inning.
Caleb Gindel 0 for 2, skimming the ball on the ground. Foul down the left side and out of play. It's 0-1. Zach Shank with the double deep to the gap in left center field back in the fourth inning, his 5th two-base hit of the year. But it still resulted in the final out of the inning, canceling a run. 1-1 to Gindel. Dorminey has walked 2. He has struck out 5 in his 5 innings. He's allowed 5 hits. Caleb, another ground ball. Espinal will take it himself. 3 unassisted. Joe Turdoslavich to the plate. Turdoslavich has walked and grounded to third. And the longer this game goes, I think the harder it will be for the Barnstormers to recover with the grind this team has been through.
Now, if they can keep it at a 2-run deficit, that can be made up. I mean, last night was just a battering.
Dorminey with the high pitch count the first 3 innings, but only 12 in the 4th, 7 last inning. He gets a 3-pitch out to start the 6th. Either he's around the plate more, which I think is the case, or the Barnstormers are getting a little less patient. Turdoslavich rolls a grounder. Foul ball, and it's 0-1.
Well, his off-speed pitch is kept them off balance, and then he's been, Lancaster's been topping the ball, just not getting good, solid contact.
0-1 en route. Turdoslavich able to hold on the swing. A ball and a strike. Dorminey will probably be done after 6. Bauman could go all 9. Fouled back to the screen. It's 1-2. And I say that because Ross has had Bauman throw 125 and 117 pitches before. But he doesn't seem to mind. Didn't tickle the outside corner. It's 2-2.
Well, and who knows, even despite on a hot, humid night like this, Lancaster has had long innings at the plate to give Bauman a chance to rest.
Ground ball out to Ross, and he mishandled it. No juice gums points for you. I've gotten to know the Sugarland third base coach fairly well. He is a treat. 2-2. Turdoslavich drives a ball out toward right center field. Paredes galloping over. He was positioned perfectly and makes the catch for out number 1. Somerset will do that to you relentlessly.
But everybody's in the right spot defensively, you're talking about?
Because the pitchers hit their spots.
Yeah.
And when the pitchers hit their spots, you know largely where the ball's going to go. 2 outs, and here's Hobson. Casey is struck out looking and fouled to the catcher. Ever since the Shank double, Dorminey has retired 5 in a row. Breaking ball missing, and it's ball 1, no strikes. 98 pitches for the left-hander. Topper foul, it's 1-1. David Kubiak, the ace right-hander of this Somerset ball club, who leads the league in most important pitching categories, is a guy who just lives on breaking balls, change-ups, and they're so good that he will have left-handed batters swinging over the top of his stuff all night. We've watched him do it already this year. He's done it to everybody. Dorminey doesn't throw that many fastballs. Away for ball 2.
Well, and that's, again, the change in the game. So many people like to see that power pitcher throwing 100 miles an hour. But when you see a pitcher that can be effective throwing that breaking ball and changeup,
I'd rather watch it. Popped up down the right field line, headed toward the seats. Kelly is over there, but
hit the railing.
Not a play.
I mean, as a batter, it's got to be just absolutely mind-boggling to try and come up and pick up that pitch. You're right. To see a pitcher just work his craft like that is something else. Don't get me wrong. I mean, to see somebody rear back and just blaze one at 100 miles an hour and hit the strike zone and just overpower somebody, yeah, that's entertaining as well.
2-2, the count to Hobson. Swung on and missed. Dormany has gotten on a roll through the middle innings. He strikes out his 6-0 across. Still 2-0 Somerset. Already to the 7th inning, and the Barnstormers are giving Buddy Bauman his usual treatment, not giving him any runs. I've been through this before with pitchers. Back-to-back years, long ago, one guy 0-6, and the Pittsburgh Pirates had to send him down. He was 10th in the league in ERA, but they wanted to get him out of that environment. And I think it was actually 2 years later, maybe the next year, there was a guy who made it to the All-Star team at 3-10.
Wow.
No support. Edwin Espinal, he's done his job, 2 for 2 with a run scored. Bauman is low to him, ball 1, no strikes.
It's still nice to see that he was rewarded for his efforts. Obviously, he had the numbers except for the wins and losses.
Yeah.
Or wins, I should say.
I think he was 2-7 when the All-Star teams were named. He finished up 3-10. Guy who got to the major leagues for 1 appearance. 3-0 now.
Well,
7th inning hasn't gone well lately for the Barnstormers starters. The High Point trip especially. Espinal waits through it, gets a strike. It's 3-1. Jared Lakin gave up back-to-back home runs in the 7th, carrying a 2-hit, 1-run game into it, and a 3-1 lead. Fastball up and away. Bauman walks just his 2nd, and Espinal is on again. Ullman will step in. Completely opposite results for Michael Ullman in this game. A ground ball double play and the 2-run homer that stands as the difference. 24 games in a row he's been on base.
Just got to make sure you keep it off the outside part of the plate.
First pitch strike. It's 0-1. New Britain now leads Long Island 9-4 through 6 innings. And that bodes well for Somerset. High fly ball, foul down the left field line and twisting well off the playing field. 0-2 the count. Patriots trying to stay close with a head-to-head matchup against Long Island coming up this weekend. The Patriots are in a position they may have to sweep that series because of the schedule over the last week. Ullman swings and misses. Bauman fans his fifth. That is 63 now for Bauman on the year. He remains among the Atlantic League leaders in the strikeout category. Michael Krause is fanned twice. Wrapped foul for strike one. Fastball off the outside corner. 1-1. David Kubiak from Somerset leads the league with 71 strikeouts. Oh boy. Rip to deep left field. Shank racing over. He gets there. Krause didn't hit that ball quite as well as I thought he did. Still took a heck of a play. Bauman appreciates Shank's defensive effort.
Yeah, off the bat, it sounded like it was going to go a lot further than it did.
I thought it was past Shank and good for a double. 2 outs now with Espinal remaining the runner. Here is Alfredo Rodriguez, who's 0 for 2. Bauman started the night 5th in strikeouts. He's now tied for 3rd. Ground ball to 3rd. Backhanded play made by Bell. Low throw. Hobson handles it. A scoreless 7th inning following the leadoff walk. 1 man left for the Patriots. Lancaster has 3 shots left, trailing by 2. Barnstormers have made the plays in the field, but one swing of the bat gave the Somerset Patriots the lead. A ball that Caleb Gindel could not get to. Michael Ullman with just his 3rd home run of the season. Michael Krause tried to match it, and Zach Shank equal to the task. Again, you cannot find too much fault with this Lancaster Barnstormers defense.
No.
There is Jared Binner. We say goodbye to a very good friend to this ball club. Jared has been the head athletic trainer assigned to the Barnstormers from Orthopedic Associates of Lancaster for almost 3 full seasons. But he is leaving us following this doubleheader and headed down to Mississippi to further his life and his career in the medical field. He's done a stellar job, especially this year. I cannot tell you how busy that fellow has been, but he has been my partner in crime, my traveling companion for the last 3 years. So many laughs over lunch for these past 3 seasons. Parker Morin facing left-hander Luis Cruz, and a strike is delivered. Cruz with his 2nd appearance of the series. He threw an inning last night, giving up a bloop hit to Gindel, and that was it. Former Road Warrior. 1-1 now to Parker Morin. Lancaster trailing by 2. Breaking ball gets there. Morin bats 1 and 2. Josh Bell and Zach Schenk will follow. Schenk, along with Bauman, you'd have to say the Barnstormers players of the game in this nightcap. Quicker delivery, ground ball headed toward the middle. Rodriguez dives and can't get to it. Morin is on to start the 7th. The Barnstormers own their 6th hit as Michael Krause fires it back in. Josh Bell has struck out and he has walked.
I think Cruz might have got a piece of it, but even that didn't slow it down enough for
hard landing
Rodriguez.
By Alfredo.
Yeah. Now, Lancaster needs to string a couple of those together.
Bell batting, Schenk on deck. Lancaster now owns 6 hits. At least half of them have been ground balls up the middle. Strike to the inside corner on Bell. It's 0-1.
Well, 2 quality starts out of both starting pitchers here tonight.
That's too close, a 1-1. Dorminey officially will get one. 5 hits, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts in his 6 innings of work. Bauman is still pending because Ross Peoples keeps him out there. It looks like he'll work the 8th inning. Bell needed a timeout to adjust something. Bouncer foul, 1-2. We'd have such an entirely different picture in this ball game if that run had counted back in the 4th inning. Again, the replay appeared to show that it was the correct call.
Yep.
Despite the fact it was tough to tell exactly where the plate was. 1-2 on Bell. Ground ball past Rodriguez and a base hit the left. Lancaster has the tying runs on in the bottom of the 7th inning. 7 hits for Lancaster here in game 2. This is the chance.
Nice at bat by Bell to go down and get that one. Just find the hole on the left side, and he's been on base twice tonight. Of course, Schenk with a pair of hits. So the bottom half or bottom third of the lineup doing their job.
Schenk has a single and a double, but right now I would imagine he's going to be asked to lay a bunt down. Morin at second, Bell at first. The corners playing for that sacrifice bunt. Cruz ready to go. Schenk, no sign of the bunt. Ball 1 is inside and low. Lancaster may be playing for more than 2. Ross Peoples running through the signs.
I think he's still going to bunt. Just didn't want to give it away in the first pitch.
The 1-0, Schenk swings away, and it's a pop fly to shallow left center field. Going back is Rodriguez. He'll corral it. The runners have to hold.
Well, and I'm wrong.
Darian Sanford will step in. It's been an active inning for Alfredo Rodriguez. He's had to dive to his left, dive to his right, dash back into the outfield. The only thing he hasn't done is charge a play. Sanford capable of doing that. We'll see if he forces Rodriguez to go in the 4th direction. Morin at second, Bell at first, now with 1 out. Barnstormers have left 6 on in this game. Somerset only 2. To some extent, a frustrating game for this Lancaster Barnstormers ball club. They're only 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position. It seems like they've had more chances than that. Sanford swings away and fouls it off. He's down a strike against Cruz. Darian 0 for 3 tonight and just 1 for 10 in the series. He's only 4 for 32, batting 125 against the Patriots for the year. The corners are still forced to play up. You could see Sanford try a push bunt over toward first base and test Espinal, but instead a swing and a miss against Cruz fastball. It's 0-2. Boy, this is a season where Ross can't flip the right switch seemingly to save himself. Managed this afternoon. The bullpen held the 5-2 win. Matt Marksberry has been brilliant his last few outings. He got the W. The H went to Chassin, the S to Epley. Inside, trying to knock Sanford off the plate. 1-2. Michael Martinez due next. Somerset keeps throwing lefties out there.
Yeah, it's like they don't even have any right-handed pitchers.
1-2. Sanford lets that go. Ball 2 is high. Throw to first base. It was a throw which Espinal had to go up to get. And Bell easily back in underneath. Sanford has worked the count back to even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runners at first and second now with 1 out. You just look for Darien to extend the threat here in the 7th. Here's a 2-2. Swung on and missed. Cruz dropped down a bit on the arm angle. My, oh my. Now Michael Martinez will come to the plate. Maybe if we take Bauman out, the Barnstormers will score. While he's in there, it's just been unbelievable.
Yeah, it just isn't fair.
Last time Bauman faced Somerset, he lost 3-1. This whole inning is up to Martinez, who's 1 for 3. Cruz will deliver. Martinez swings and misses. He is down a strike. It is 0-1.
Yeah, they're just a little late on the fastball.
Missing inside.
We saw Dorminey with an off-speed pitch that kept Lancaster off balance, and here Cruz started out with some off-speed stuff, but now has been relying more on the fastball.
1-1. Martinez swings, lights that ball toward left center field. They're trying to close the gap, and Pacioli gets there for the final out. Back-to-back singles to start the inning. Nothing further develops. 2 hits and 2 left. We're going to the 8th. 2-0 Somerset. The story of the game, the Barnstormers have done the bulk of the hitting, but Somerset able to get the ball up on the picnic deck at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Michael Ullman with a man on in the 5th inning. About the only thing that has spoiled the night for Buddy Bauman, that and the fact that the potato salad bowl once again has been empty by the time Bauman gets to serve himself. I at least hope after the game he gets to hit the spread first.
Yeah.
Scott Kelly to lead off the 8th inning. I mean, Buddy is he's at least earned the first serving spoonful of lasagna or whatever is down there tonight. Give him that much.
I mean, you look at it. 7 innings of work, 4 hits, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks, 1 pitch is the difference.
Scott Kelly has walked and flied to left. Baumann still with the quality start working. He has pitched very well. It looks like he does have backup in the bullpen. To Kelly, a strike on the inside corner. It's only the 90th pitch, but he is thrown.
And you know, in the home run too by Ullman, we saw it on the replay. Did a great job.
High pop up,
finish it.
Shallow center. Martinez and Sanford get together. Martinez with the catch.
Did a great job of keeping the hands back and then just went to right field. If he stays on top of that, he flies out to center. Because that was a Clipper Magazine home run.
The ball hit the railings up there.
Yeah. So just that split second of him keeping his hands back and enough to lift it off to right field is the difference between potentially a still scoreless ball game, but now 2-0.
Gonzalez, the batter, he's grounded into a double play, and he has a double off the wall in right. Lancaster has Gamache, Gendel, and Terdoslavich in the 8th inning. Gonzalez takes a strike to the outer corner. It is 0-1. Buddy Baumann has thrown a nice game. I don't think anybody will deny it or take it away from him. Another pop-up. Shedding the mask is Morin. Parker drops it. And Gonzalez stays alive at 1 ball and 1 strike. That's an error. Barnstormers guilty of their first in the doubleheader.
Taking one right through the webbing.
1 ball and 1 strike. It's never easy for catchers to make those plays, but they are expected to. Fouled away. Gonzalez batting at a ball and 2 strikes. And I'm sure Jovan standing there in the batter's box thinking, I've done that too.
Yeah.
I'm happy I'm still taking my turn at the plate, but I feel for you, buddy. 0-2. And again, the ball in the air. This time it is Darian Sanford with the opportunity, and he'll put it away for out number 2. Justin Pacioli will come to the plate. He's 0 for 3. Not many errors for the Barnstormers defensively in recent vintage. This dropped foul pop-up was the first error that Lancaster had made since a weird bounce on a throw home at Long Island on Saturday night. Ball 1 is high, 1-0. Greg Golson charged with an error, but it was one of those, what can you do? 2-0. He threw home. John Anderson was right where he needed to be to back up. And I think the ball hit the back edge of the dirt circle and bounced over Anderson's head.
Oh.
And the runner moved ahead. Bad hop error. Fouled back. Pacioli bats 2 balls, 2 strikes here. Baumann finally closing in on 100 pitches.
So it just seems like any little thing that could possibly go wrong, it does, and they get these bizarre hops and bounces.
Swing and a miss. Pacioli is gone for the 2nd time. Baumann strikes out his 6th. He has a clean inning, except there was the 1 error. Bottom of the 8th coming up. Lancaster still needs 2. It's been an entertaining second game of our doubleheader, and the fans trying to make some of their own fun as well. Barnstormers will be sending Dan Gamache, Caleb Gindel, and Joe Terdoslavich to the plate in the 8th inning against the setup man, Mike Broadway. Do we want to cue the Bee Gees, or who was it, George Benson?
George Benson.
The neon lights are bright on Broadway. Or do we blame it all on the nights on Broadway?
What I'd like to see is a Barnstormer get on base and then have him put one down Broadway for them to tee off on it.
Dan Gamache, 2 for 3. Leads off here in the bottom of the 8th inning. A crowd of 30-26 tonight at Clipper Magazine Stadium. The Barnstormers are down to just 6 outs in an attempt to sweep their first doubleheader this year. They're 0-3-1, 3 losses and a split in the previous Twin Bills. Gamache takes high and inside from Broadway. It is 1-0. Mike Broadway has put up outstanding numbers. Ex-big leaguer from Illinois, 32 years of age, 6'5" and 215. Gamache with a towering pop fly into the twilight sky. Coming on, the left fielder Pacioli, and he's staggered, but he made the catch. Does that guy ever drop a ball? We've seen him make some of the most ridiculous catches this year. 1 out, no dice for Gamache.
I don't know if had a hard time picking it up.
Yeah, this is a brutal time of night. I was hoping that they wouldn't see it out there. It's tough on a really bright sunny day to pick the ball up at this hour. Gindel fouls it back. It could have been what hampered Morin at the last second.
Although Rodriguez was on his way out to make the play, but you always give way to the outfielder. Easier for him to come in on a ball than for somebody to be backpedaling.
Gindel swings and misses. Slider got down and in. Slider cutter.
Great
0-2.
movement. Great movement on that pitch. Man.
Caleb lays off the fastball high and away. 1-2. I have to believe, watching that pitch, that the previous one was a cutter. Just by the gap in the speed. Here's a 1-2. Gindel looks at a fastball inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The numbers for Broadway, 1-2, 1 save, and a 1.99 earned run average. 14 hits allowed in now 23 innings. Here's a 2-2. Gindel stays alive. 2-run homer by Michael Ullman back in the 5th inning is the difference in the game. Gindel still battles.
I think that was another one of those cutters. Boy, when you think back at that run that was negated for the Barnstormers and how that
Pop fly here. Left side of the diamond. Navarro going out. And the third baseman corrals it. 2nd out. Joe Terdoslavich left to produce this inning.
Yeah, if it was a 2-1 game, 1 swing would tie it up. But first things first, you got to get somebody on base to bring that tying run to the plate.
Our 4-legged friends get ice cream. Eric and I, we have 4 legs between us. Does that count? I'm wondering. It's rather warm for Fido tonight as well.
Yeah, I pity the dogs with the full coat.
The really heavy fur. 1-0. Fouled away. Third pitcher used by the Somerset Patriots here in Game 2. Dormany, 6 shutout innings. Cruz, 1. Broadway working on a shutout inning. Facing Joe Turdoslavich, Casey Hobson waiting on deck. And then Mike Antonini would pitch the 9th inning if the situation remains as it is right now. Turdoslavich is moved by the fastball inside. 2-1. Lancaster's had very little success with pinch hitting this year. 2 for 16. Swing and a miss against the fastball. It is 2-2. This is the kind of bullpen setup that Ross Peoples has longed for this year. Cruz for the 7th, Broadway for the 8th, Antonini for the 9th.
And when you get a starting pitcher that, again, was throwing the breaking ball, the off-speed stuff.
2-2, Turdoslavich drills that to right field. Way back it goes, and the walls will not contain it. That's a home run, and now we go back to the 4th inning. Second long ball of the day for Turdoslavich, his 12th of the season.
That was a laser shot.
Came out of nowhere. Turdoslavich loves to hit with 2 strikes, and he just did. Turdoslavich and Hobson went back-to-back earlier today. Joe sat on it. Line drive up there, didn't clear by much.
A little bit further than Ullman's.
Hobson is 0 for 3 here in the nightcap. Broadway to the plate, swing and a miss. 1 strike. Now 2-1, but the run that didn't count back in the 4th inning. Borderline call,
but the correct one.
Hobson lets it go. It is low. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Barnstormers have out-hit Somerset 8-4. Lancaster's home run with the bases empty. Somerset's home run with one of the mere handful of base runners of the game. Swinging and missing is Hobson. It is 1-2.
You know, and going back to that play in the 4th inning, too, when I saw Shanks start to head for third, I picked up Bell, and I was watching him, trying to watch both at the same time. And in real time, it looked as though Bell crossed the plate.
Swung on and missed. Hobson down on strikes, a run, a hit. Nobody left. We're going to the 9th. The Patriots lead it 2-1.
Well, we're quickly here in the 9th inning of a 2-1 ball game. Somerset on top. Buddy Nauman is going to go out for the 9th inning.
Been a while since we've seen a Barnstormer go all 9. I remember Nate Reed did it against New Britain just before his contract was purchased by the Giants 2 years ago. He'll face Navarro, Paredes, and Espinal. They'll all bat right-handed. Buddy has had a heck of a game. I think Ross wants to give him a chance to win. He has not recorded a W since May 14th. There's a bunt. Bauman with the play off the mound Backhanded feed to Hobson, one down. That wasn't a bad bunt by Navarro, but a better play turned in by Buddy Bauman.
Now, do you think this might be one of those scenarios where Ross said to Buddy, okay, look, you go out and start the ninth, but if a guy gets on base, we're going to the pen?
It could be. There is action in the bullpen.
It's a great start. One pitch and one out.
Right around 100 pitches for the night for Bauman, and he's gone as many as 125. Jimmy Paredes is 0 for 3. 5 RBI night last night. Foul tip here, strike one.
Would you say this is one of his better outings on the season?
Well, yes. It's one of the best outings the Barnstormers have gotten from anybody on the season. 0-2. First guy to go into the ninth inning. He's only allowed 6 base runners. Here's the 0-2. Paredes goes down on the high fastball. Buddy Bauman with strikeout number 7.
Well, Paredes was trying to get that run back. That was a home run swing if you ever saw one.
Now Edwin Espinal, who has been a thorn this entire series. 2 hits and a walk in this game. He was the man who was on in front of the Ullman homer. Strike taken. Bauman deals in the dirt, and it's 1-1. Buddy's pitch count at 105 or 106, depending on exactly where the online scoring is. It's 106 now. Here's a 1-1. Espinal looks at strike 2. Lancaster with Morin, Bell, and Shank due up in the lower half of the ninth inning. Right now down by 1. They'll face the league's top closer, Mike Antonini. 1-2. Espinal with a ground ball just fouled on the first baseline. Last year a Toledo Mudhen, and this year a Somerset Patriot, Edwin Espinal. One-two pitch, bouncer on the right side, and Bauman has gone 9 innings.
What an
4-3. Tremendous performance by Buddy Bauman here tonight. 109 pitches, 9 innings of baseball. He has nothing to hang his head about, but now he's got to hope that his ball club can at least tie it up in the bottom of the ninth. That is our friend Zach Duty. Going all out to support his Barnstormers. All about the red.
I'm glad that's face paint, not sunburn from earlier today.
That was me a week ago today. Mike Antonini, the closer for the Somerset Patriots, trying for his 22nd save of the season. Parker Morin will get the lead off the inning against the lefty. And it's time for the rally cap. Zach going all out, 100% dedication right there. Mike Antonini is from PA, from Aston. He's been in this league a while, 33 years of age. Bridgeport had him at one point. He's found a home in Somerset. 23 save opportunities. He's converted 21, 1-1 with a 1.17 earned run average. To Morin. First pitch is over for a strike called 0-1. I was right. And here's the amazing fact. Nate Reed was the last guy to go 9 innings as a Barnstormer in a game, and it was exactly 2 years ago to the day.
Oh, jeez.
Swing and a miss by Morin, 2 strikes. Lancaster has some availability off the bench. You've got Greg Golson, you've got Anderson De La Rosa to come in from the right side, but Ross sticks with Morin. Here comes the 0-2 from Antonini. It fades low. Ball 1 and 2 strikes. Morin with a leadoff single back in the 7th inning. That play between third base and home plate is glaring from back in the 4th inning. 1-2. Swung on and missed. Antonini strikes out Morin. 1 gone. The 9th strikeout for Somerset pitching. Josh Bell comes in. He is 1 for 2 with a walk here in the nightcap. That for Antonini is 25th strikeout in 23 1/3 innings. Opposing batters hitting only 149 against him on the year coming into tonight. Lancaster's out hit Somerset 8-4. Bell takes low for a ball, 1-0. Well, the Barnstormers get a tremendous start, the best we've seen in a while. Bauman goes 9 innings. He gives up 6 base runners, and yet Lancaster trails by 1 with 2 outs left. Bell fouls it off. It is a ball and a strike.
Yeah, not only did he go 9 innings, but he was in control. He had great command of his pitches. Somerset really didn't threaten until that 1 inning where they got the 2 runs.
To Bell, popped up on the right side. Scott Kelly in charge. The second baseman puts it away. Zach Shank is the final hope for the Lancaster Barnstormers tonight. 2 for 3 for Shank. He doubled back in the 4th inning. It was the Barnstormers' lone extra base hit until the Terdoslavich solo home run in the 8th. But it was on that play that Shank was thrown out going into 3rd. And it did appear on our split screen replay of it that he was tagged out before Bell crossed home. To Shank now, a strike, off-speed pitch to the outside corner. It is 0-1. Lancaster down to a final out here in the 9th inning. In the dirt and bouncing away. Ball 1, strike 1. Bauman threw 109 pitches tonight. The Barnstormers have seen 147. It hasn't been enough. The walks are even at 2. The home runs are even at 1. The doubles are even at 1. But Lancaster with the out on the bases, and Somerset had a man on with the homer. And the Patriots win these close ball games like nothing, and this year the Barnstormers can't seem to buy one. Fouled off. Lancaster down to a final strike here. 2 and 2 on Shank.
6 runners left on base through the first 4 innings.
8 for the game to just 2 for the Patriots.
4 of those runners were in scoring position. So opportunities, but just couldn't find the hit when they needed it.
Here's a 2-2. Shank fights to keep the game going. The holding count of 2 and 2. Darian Sanford is the man on deck. And he's got himself a prize, that young man does.
Boy, he had his eyes on it, too.
Antonini to Shank, 2-2. Driven out the left field, but Pacioli will be there for the final out. This is a hard loss for the Barnstormers. It doesn't mean anything really as far as the standings are concerned, but it seemed like the Barnstormers outplayed the Somerset Patriots the entire game, and yet Somerset comes out ahead by 1. That'll do it for our doubleheader today. The Barnstormers with the 5-2 win earlier. Somerset takes this one by a final score of 2-1. Eric and I will be back with you tomorrow night for the series finale at 7 o'clock. Until then, for the cast and crew at Blue Ridge 11, and for everybody here at Clipper Magazine Stadium, and for my partner Eric May, I'm Dave Collins. Have a great evening, everyone. We'll see you at the ballpark.
Él la está misiando. ¿Y quién lo está misiando?